Hello and welcome to the Table Talk Wednesdays here at the CDL Café, where leadership isn't just talked about, it's challenged. This isn't your typical leadership conversation. This is where we gather around the table every week to ask hard questions and put character back to the center of how we lead. Sometimes it's just us, the team, sharing real reflection, and sometimes we pull up an extra seat for a guest whose voice brings fresh perspective, bold insight, and lived experience to the table. Because around here, we believe leadership that isn't rooted in character won't last. Leadership that doesn't challenge the system won't change it. And leadership that's all image and no substance isn't leadership at all. So grab your coffee, lean in, and let's get into today's table talk. Let's go.
The character-driven leadership. It's another Wednesday, another great Wednesday. We have a great guest because I can feel the energy since we start posting the poster on social media. I can feel the energy, and this is what we are aiming for at the CDL Café. Bernice, welcome to the table.
Thank you.
We're honored to have you on. Like every other Wednesday, we pull an extra seat for a guest to share their wisdom, perspective on the chosen topic. And what we are doing at the CDL Café is that we're bringing questions and we're bringing subjects and topics that most people or most leaders avoid to confront. Okay. And this is what is creating some kind of misleading or confusion, or we're having more performers than leaders. And we decided that we have to face it. We have to bring on people who are leading with character and start sharing their perspective to make those who are seeing the problem but being silent gain confidence and start leading from who they are. So Thank you so much for accepting our invitation, Bernice. And a part of our ritual at the CDL Café, we have to ask you before we start anything, what is your favorite drink, or what kind of drink you would like to order on the table?
Ginger ale. On the rocks. Ginger ale on the rocks.
I don't know.
See, I'm not the only one that doesn't like coffee.
I think that's what we had to change
You just stumped him because he don't know how to deal with that one.
Well, at least I'm giving it a try. We're trying to develop our menu. All right, so we are going to add this drink on the menu, no problem. All right.
Yes.
So I'm gonna let me see, what do I have? Something closer to the drink you're asking for. Okay, here's the thing. Do you think leadership should get back to being as simple and vital and transparent and life-giving?
Absolutely.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
All right.
Transparent, life-giving, definitely. Yeah, I think when we lead from what I would say a blind hand, not being transparent and open, I think it leads to confusion. And you surely can't go anywhere with confusion. I believe in clarity. I believe that there should be some level of transparency to make sure that it's not one person that has just a certain information. And what I love about this CDL Café is that, like you said, you're bringing on leaders that is opposite of what you've seen as far as the overall with leadership. And I've seen leadership from not being transparent. I've seen leadership where there is one or two leaders that will share something and a decision made without even knowing, okay, why was the decision made? So definitely I would, I really think that is where we need to go back to the transparency, more information, and that allows better decision making too, and better trust, building a trust. When people truly know, you can really build that trust. And yes, definitely I would suggest that. Yeah, definitely we need to go back to that.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
in one word, what would you describe, like how do you describe leadership?
Servant, servitude, servant leadership. I would say servant.
Servant. And why would you say that?
That's how I categorize my leadership style. There are several leadership styles. Um, I look at leadership as viewing, it's simple guiding a group, guiding a team, guiding someone to a certain goal. And I believe in order to lead, it should be like a servant. You must serve people regardless. If you have a goal, a set goal in mind of where you headed, and you have, especially team people, you have a group of people um, that are reliant on you as a leader. I believe you should view yourself as a leader that serves in ways
Hmm.
that, you know, it's about, think about this as every leader should be focusing on a goal. All right, this is the goal that we have in mind, right? But
Hmm.
in order to meet that goal, it should take some type of step, some time of work, some type of effort, some type of consistency, some type of transparency. It should take some type of steps that take you to that goal. And in order to have those steps, I believe in those steps, there should be some type of servitude, helping, assisting, making a light better. And a lot of leaders I've seen that are not, it's like it's me. It's just me here. I am just leading. I'm doing this. I am not being transparent. I'm just doing whatever I feel it should be done and not incorporating a team, not sharing, like we say, transparency. Um, but I believe when we view leadership as serving, I believe it minimizes the role of pride. It's just me as a leader. It's just me doing this. And when you think of servitude, is serving everyone, and we all are together. I believe in, and I've heard of this, there's no I in team. So I really believe in that. And so yeah, I view leadership as, being a servant, ways that I can help, way that I can assist. Definitely.
You know, you brought me to this question also, and this analogy. When I was working in a hospital, I also put in my mind that I was serving people, and it just created a different
Yep.
environment. That's what people used to
Yes.
just listen to you naturally. You don't even
Yes.
have to force anything, because people know that you are helping them. It's not just about you, it's about everybody. It's about the
Yes.
community. And I think that's a huge difference. Sometimes servant, maybe for some people, will feel like that's a weak word, but it's a powerful word, a
Yes.
powerful way to lead others, actually. I was totally
Absolutely.
agree with you.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, and I'll
Did you
add to
notice?
that.
Let me sip
Yeah,
on my
go ahead. Go
ginger
ahead.
ale.
No, I was just going to say that you can't, just to add on to what Bernice was saying, I don't think you can be a good, great, or effective leader if you do not first serve. If
Yes.
you're not willing to serve, you can't. To me, you can't. They kind of are connected, and those who we see in leadership that don't know how to serve, as Bernice was saying, they're not successful at it.
Yes.
I've been there too. Where I've had people that I've had to, that were quote unquote leaders, that I've had to work for, that I've worked to. I've mentioned to you all, and I was just like, these folks there was no respect there. There was no any kind of. It's like they don't know
Yes.
what they're doing, and they weren't willing to make
Yes.
sure that those of us that they were leading had the tools that we needed, that we were good, even mentally.
Yes.
You know, even in a mental good state, you as a leader have to be observant of that and see how you can
Yes.
serve them in that way, making sure that they are okay and being able to
Mhm.
maximize their productivity in the work that they're doing. You know, so I think that was great, Bernice, that you started with that you being a servant, a servant leader.
And it bring and
Wonderful.
this humility is when you
Yes,
serve is humility. And
Mm,
when you truly have humility at the core as a value as a leader, that's the opposite of pride, right? When
yeah,
we've
mm,
seen
mm,
pride for leaders before, we've seen decisions being made through pride for leaders. And so if
mm,
you start with the basic core value of humility and servitude, I mean, that's where and community comes from. You can't serve community with a prideful spirit, a prideful heart, or
agree with you.
um, you cannot serve humanity with pride. It has to come back to the humanity. We're all humans in some form. We
mm,
have to be able to start from the humanity of us, regardless of how we feel about certain thoughts, maybe religious thoughts, maybe how we believe in food or how custom. All of this, it may be a difference, but all of us should go back to humanity, and all of us as leaders should make sure that we are serving. Yes, it should always go back to servitude,
I
in
think the
my
word
opinion.
I love it.
humanity, I think the word humanity, that's what makes a difference too, no? Because when we're
Right.
listening and we think about people, about their feelings, their emotions, their thoughts, their character, their personalities, their issues, their struggles, that changes everything. We cannot
Yes.
live with ego. We cannot live with just about, proud or just uh, what is
Yes.
my, even I would say like just my thinking about what is better for me, because we're losing the whole purpose of leadership.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, we did not yet jump into the topic that we are supposed to jump into,
I
but
think
I
we
just
are.
wanted to. We still did not. Trust me, we did not. But I loved your, you know, it seems that you have it. You mean, I mean, you have what you're talking about. You know, yeah,
Thank you.
like when I asked you, what do you think about, or what, how would you describe leadership in one word? And you said servant, and then the conversation kept on going. I don't
Yes.
want to let this go just like that. I
Thank
want
you.
those who are listening to understand something, that when you are asked, how would you describe leadership, and you have that one word that expands to a conversation, this is where we know that you are leading with values. You are leading with the principles.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
thank you so much, Bernice, for sharing all of this. And one more question about the servant leadership. Do you think, because like today, people don't serve from the heart, they serve maybe for exchange. I've seen that happening, and there's a reason
Yes.
why I'm asking this question. So,
Sure.
do you think when we say that leadership is servanthood, is this description making people avoid leading with transparency, or making people avoid leadership at all, and they go to like uh, they become manipulative? How do you say it? Um, uh, I forgot the
Manipulative.
term. Yes, yes, yes.
Um, if to answer your question, then if that's so, I don't believe that they're true leaders,
Hmm.
because every successful leader that I've witnessed are servants. They are humble. They are looking to serve. They are leading a group with a team, with everyone. And as you know, as I believe we're on the topic. The topic is the death of a popularity leader. And I
We're gonna
believe
hit
the
it.
opposite of that is someone who has an ego, who's prideful,
Mm,
who thinks it's all about me. And the person who feel that it's all about them, they're not serving. They only want to see themselves up on a pedestal. Right. So I believe somehow we are in the prerequisite of this topic, but I think if what we're saying about servitude and leading from the heart with humanity turns someone away, then I believe they have missed the calling of leadership. I think they need to, have something else, because you can't, to me, I don't think you can lead successfully without serving. I think
mhm.
I know it comes hand in hand. I just don't think there should be a separation between leadership and servitude. That's yeah. I just don't see it happening successfully.
And here's the transition to the topic that we're talking about.
Yes. Sorry. I'm
What
just leading the way.
what comes to your mind when you hear leadership popularity?
Uh whew. Big following. Big um pride, ego, the opposite of servitude. That's that word again. Um, I think of decisions being made as a leader only by uh, just by full choice, not by leading from the heart, not
Mm,
sticking to values. Because I believe some leaders who, when focusing on popularity, decisions are being made based on popular opinion, based on what everyone else is doing and what everyone else may feel, versus leading the way from the heart, leading the way by staying focused on your goals, your vision, and your mission. Once the leader know exactly what vision, their mission, and their goals are, it makes it easy to lead the way because you know where you're headed. Um, and there may be some things that transpire over time that make you feel like, okay, I may deter because there's a crowd of people who's relying on me of certain things. But no, I think a leader who is leading from the heart as a servitude, a leader who is not focused on popularity but has a straight goal. This is the goal that we have set. This is the values, this is the mission, and I'm sticking forward in this, whether this decision is not popular. As a leader who is not based on popularity, makes decisions that are unpopular, makes
mm,
decisions that
mm.
are not unliked, but not liked. But this is why I believe, this is my view from a leader who is, not popular.
The beauty is that because people are leading by serving others, they become popular, naturally popular. People look for them, or people want more of them, people are listening more. So that's the beauty of this, right? When you do it from your heart, or with the
Yes,
heart, also with the values, leadership becomes
yes,
something that is not a work, it's not a job, it's not a must. It's something that comes naturally.
I agree.
So, so
I
do you
agree.
think that we are going to become popular?
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
believe so.
absolutely. Yeah, I think so when I first said, when you asked me and I thought about popularity, a lot of times when you think of leadership that's focused on popularity, I think perspective has to be put in place. A lot of leaders are not leading from the heart. A lot of leaders, as we talked about before, about leading from an ego perspective. And when you are focused on just yourself and just popularity over the end goal of team, we're working together from a humble servant to heart. I think that's what I mean about, the popularity, because sometimes as leaders, I've seen it happen where leaders are just focused on popularity. Decisions are made based on, okay, this popular people, or it's what someone else is doing because it's the trend or it is now. And I've seen organizations, deter or go other places based on just a decision from a leader because it looked good at that moment and that it was popular at that time. I believe I think there are two things we're talking about here. One leader, let's say a leader that is focused on really leading from the heart, have the values, the goals, the mission set, and they're truly leading from the heart and serving to. Then there's one that are mainly focusing on this popularity. They're not transparent. They're not worried about, they're really not worried about the overall team they're leading. It's about them. The ego is there. Then I don't believe that you can truly lead successfully there. Now, I do believe in a really good leader that is leading from the heart, and then they become popular. I believe that's great. We have the technology that makes it all available to us. We all have that same technology with our smartphones and access. But I do believe the wrong leaders who have access to technology, it can be magnified of how bad their leadership skills and roles are.
Mm-hmm. Make a lot of sense. No?
Yeah.
The impact, even the power that we have, right? What we say, it could go to build a community, a nation, or it can also destroy people's lives as well.
I agree.
Yep. So here's a question that I keep repeating in every now and then.
Sure.
Do you think being liked is the same as being respected?
No, because someone can just like you based on some similarities that we may have. We both may like ginger ale. But that doesn't mean that I will respect you, and vice versa. You may respect someone with the role that they have, but that doesn't mean that you really like them. You may not like their character. You may not like certain how they make decisions or how they maneuver as they're in their role of leadership. So no, I don't see them as the same.
I think we need to elaborate more on this point because this point is very important to many who will be listening to our episode, because me personally, there are so many people whom I don't like, but I respect.
Yes.
I respect them for their decision making, for them understanding things in a certain way where they can break it down and deliver it with ease. I don't know if I can say this, but believe me, it's not out of ego or something. But I'm a hard person to please. So I don't like. I respect people more than I like people. That's how my if that makes sense. I'm not saying it the wrong way. So
it does.
This is my input. Dr. McKinsey, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No,
Yes.
there is there is a difference in respecting someone and liking someone, and especially when it comes to leadership, you're gonna
Yes,
have, as a leader, you're gonna have people that don't like you, period. Just because
Mm,
of the decisions that you have to make as a
yes,
leader, they're not always the most, they should be the
yes,
best decision, but they're not always the ones that people like to, for you to
yes,
make, because it either doesn't benefit them, or even it may be a person that is looking to be able to be popular. And your
yes,
decision doesn't give them that popularity that they may be looking for. But you,
yes,
as the leader, says, no, this isn't about being popular. It's about what's right, what's doing what's best for the company, or the
yes,
situation and everything like that. So, I mean, and even if you want to take it to the family, when you're making, as a leader of the family, when you're making decisions for the family,
yes,
everybody's not going to like the decisions that you have to make for
yes,
the family, but you're making the best decision that you believe for the family. And that may
yes,
lead to, oh, I didn't get what I wanted this time. Okay, yeah. And
yes,
people get sour like that. So they may not like you, at that particular time, but
right, right,
what you, as a leader, I honestly and truly, you don't necessarily have to demand people like you, but you must command that they respect you. That to me, that I want you to respect me more than you like me, because
yes,
respecting me means that you're going to take, it, no matter what decision that I make, you have the trust, and I think we mentioned that before. We have the trust and the belief that we're making the decision,
yes,
the best decision for the group, as opposed to, as what we've been talking about here, for the individual. It's not a
yes,
me thing, it's a we thing. So that's where the respect comes in. I think people will respect you more if they know that they can trust the decision that you're making, and the decision that you're making is for the overall good, and not necessarily just for you as an
that's good,
individual. I think that's
that's
where
good.
the difference comes in. So,
You know what came to my mind? Something came up to my mind now, and I want like the four of us to discuss this thing, because I think it's really important. We're talking about being liked and being respected. So if we say that there's a culture or an environment built on likes, and a culture or an environment built on respect, which
mm,
one is going to win? Let's hear from Bernice. Or
mm.
go ahead, go ahead.
Unfortunately, I listen.
Tell the truth.
If I were to choose, I would definitely choose the respect. For me, I believe that when every, every time you say light, I'm thinking of emotionalism, and
Mm,
I'm thinking of how many companies that were negatively impacted through emotionalism just because of someone liking. Um,
mm,
I but sadly, okay, I said I would choose the respect. However, I think where we are as a whole with leadership, as I just look
mm,
over the world,
Hmm.
we're
mm.
finding that so many people are driven to leaders based on likes.
Yeah,
And I think
yeah.
you know this. You definitely, you guys know CDL Cafe family, because I believe this what sparked you. One of the reasons to do this, to share. You know, this is the leadership that should be mirrored. This is the leadership that you know that people should know more about. Sadly, you know, people tend to go towards the lights based
Mm.
on how they feel. And it goes back to the emotionalism. We as humans have that human side. And I don't think enough people, enough leaders know enough about emotional intelligence. And so we tend to
Hmm.
we tend to be driven by our emotions and our likes. And that's where popularity comes, because we are so driven and we make decisions based on it. So yeah, that's my answer. I would choose, respect, but I mean, not many leaders go that route, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Atala, what was your input?
What mine was, first of all, when we talk about lives, to me, it's like it can be in two different ways, because maybe I like somebody for her purpose, or his purpose, for the way that she is, treating people, for the way that she solves problems, for the way that she cares about humanity. I like her, or I like him. For
Yes.
me, it's go a little bit beyond that, because I don't think about just like numbers, accumulating numbers, for example, in social media, right? But about making an impact,
Yes.
sharing my purpose. So to me, it has a different meaning, because in my case, whatever I'm doing, I want to share my purpose, not just as a leader,
Yes.
as a human being, somebody who went through something, who changed something, who learned something. And from that experience, I wanted to add value to people, right? But
Yes.
to me, I think like comes with also respect, because I can like somebody because earn my respect. That makes sense? The
Yes.
way that is handling things, the way that is leading like a mother, as a maybe entrepreneur, as a businesswoman. So it just really depends. I don't know if I'm clear or not, but I can like
No.
somebody and respect at the same time somebody.
Yes.
Yeah, your point is clear, but what I meant is there are some companies like Bernice said it. She said she sensed that CDL Café was born because of such things we need to face, right? And you're
Yes.
right on that, by the way. This is one of the reasons why we started this movement, and we're planning to take it like far beyond
Yes.
the things that are going on right now. And so many things are going to be added within the journey of
Yes.
character-driven leadership. It's nonstop. You know,
Good. Great.
what we meant, Atala, is there are organizations and companies, and what made me ask this question is because there is something going on. Um, some businesses are being built on liking,
Mm-hmm.
I understand now your
and
question.
and and
Yeah,
they're falling. They're falling apart. While
I
there
think
are
this
some
has been always
companies.
happening. I think that has been always happening. This is not just, maybe now it's more obvious because we can see these numbers on social media, right? Everything is
Yes.
more, open in a certain way. But I think this situation has happened all the time in history. Leaders that they are not leaders, leaders that are controlling, people that they want to be liked, because sometimes by being liked, that means that you have more power too, which in reality it depends how you want to use the power, how you want to use your
Yes.
knowledge, your experience, your wisdom, your purpose in life, right? So I think
Yes.
this has been a problem in history, honestly. Now we can see more, it's more emphasized. So you ask me, of course, I would like more a company who earns respect than likes, definitely, right? Definitely.
Yep. I mean, I know that you're talking about this. I mean, the other face of like, but I felt like I just wanted to hit on the bad side of liking. You know, the one that is destroying businesses and destroying organizations and destroying team building and all these kind of stuff.
I will tell you an
So
example. Example, in the medical field, sometimes leaders are not leaders. That makes sense? You have a lot of people that they are actually are not even happy in their positions, that they are overwhelmed because they have a lot of stress. So what about those leaders? How those leaders are leading? How those leaders are given the tools, the abilities to take care of themselves, well-being tools that everybody needs in these days? A lot of leaders, they don't do that. Not in the medical field and not in business. I don't see a lot of that kind of consciousness. Everybody talks about stress factors, about anxiety, about depression, but we are not so aware about, as a leaders, we should provide those tools as well.
Good.
Dr. McKenzie, what do you think? Since you have people who are, building businesses and everything, related to entrepreneurship. Do you think being liked is, you know, better than being respected, or?
No, no, absolutely. No, I definitely don't think that being liked is better than being respected. I think a lot of entrepreneurs and I think a lot of leaders, as Bernice was saying, get caught up in, especially in this 21st century way of thinking, they get caught up in wanting to be liked. It's almost like the parent, the parents want to be liked by their children, so they try to appease the child and do certain things with them all the time, and don't want to tell them no, and don't want to be disciplined, want to discipline them. It's the same way in the workforce where if a lot of leaders that are in positions where they feel as if, oh, they won't like me. So as a result of that, this may happen or that may happen. And I used to tell people when I was in corporate America, I'm not here for you to like me. I'm here to do a job. I have responsibilities that I have to do. So whether you like me or not, that's irrelevant to me. I'm here to make sure that I do what I'm asked to do and what I'm supposed to do here. So the liking of it shouldn't play a factor in it. But a lot of times leaders get caught up. Oh, I don't want them to dislike me. I want them to think that I'm their friend and this. No, as leaders, you're not in the position of leadership to be
Yes.
somebody's friend. And I'm not trying to sound cold or anything like that. And it's not about being cold, but it's a level. Leadership requires a level of respect. And
Mm,
if people don't if those that you're leading don't respect you, and I think y'all will agree with this, they will walk all over you. They will walk all over you. They know that they can get away with doing certain things. They know that they can get you to do certain things because they know, oh, they want to be liked.
Yeah.
They don't want to do anything to disrupt what it is that is going on. And
Yes.
even if you want to talk about the hierarchy of corporate America, even if you have those that are above you, you may be in a leadership position, but you have people that are over you. You find there are a
Yes.
lot of people that would do things just so that they can be liked by those that are
Yes.
above them and everything like that. Versus they may not even respect you. And
mm,
I've let everybody know, whether I had a district manager that I was working for, or, that was over me. The one thing you gonna do is you gonna respect me. I don't care if you like me or not, but you're gonna respect me, and you're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. You're not gonna deal with me any kind of way, and we're going to be adults. So Bernice, you said, and I swear I'm not trying to blow your head up just because you're my great friend, but you talked about emotionalism and having emotional intelligence, and I think that is so important
Mhm.
that leaders have. That's a
Yes.
skill set that you must have if you're going to
Yes.
have the death of popular leadership, because you got to die to ego. You've got to die to all of those that pride. You got to put
Yes.
all of those things aside. Excuse me, aside in order to be able to
Yes.
be successful.
mm.
But that
What you
emotional
drinking?
intelligence, I want to say something about
Look,
that. I think
this is water.
Oh, okay.
It's in my shower.
Oh,
if we as
It's
a
water.
leader, we work on that emotional intelligence, that of course is going to also allow us to live better and more, earn the respect naturally, but also you want to identify when to help one of your team, for example, right? Because you
yes.
know the emotions that they're going through, you know what they're, that's mean, it's not something that we just need to leave behind. We need to be
Yes.
have more consciousness about how those emotions affect not just in companies, our leadership style, in families as well, because this is the same thing.
Yes.
Your leader has to be, I think, updated, right? Because we need to be able to have more consciousness, to have more emotional intelligence,
Yes.
to develop more character through values, through principles, through all those
Yes.
things. So we're talking about a leader that needs to be upgraded, from my understanding.
Yes. I agree.
Right, right, right. So, Bernice, what are the signs of popularity leadership versus a leader with principles?
A leader with that leads with popularity will make decisions based on being liked, based on wanting to be liked. Let me rephrase that. A leader who's focused on popularity will not only make decisions of wanting to be liked, but they will move with ego. We said it, earlier, they will lead with pride. They won't lead as a servant. They would think of making decisions for them that make them look good as a leader. You'll find that leaders who are focused more so on popularity, they're always in the limelight. They're always given a spotlight for themselves and not with the team. Those are some of the main key points that I've seen with leaders who are just focused on popularity, especially making decisions based on being liked and what's popular at that time. As a leader, I believe you have to make decisions based on your overall goal, and especially with your company, the goals, sticking to the goal, the mission, the values. When I think of a character leader, I think of values. I think of, mission driven, that humanity, that servitude that we talked about earlier. Anything opposite of that is driven with ego, which leads to popularity. Most times the goal is, okay, it's about me. It's what, regardless of that, it's about me. It's that ego driven leader. So yes, that's some traits that I have witnessed with leaders who are mainly focused on popularity.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
let me introduce you to the queen of the seven values, Miss Atala.
Yes.
She always talks about values, values, values.
Yes, it's important.
But you know what? Those
So,
values come
yeah.
through tough transitions. So I decided to learn something from one of the 7 more difficult experiences in my life. So when I started applying, I said, oh, wow, it really changed me, my energy, the way I see life, the way I behaved, many things. And then, honestly, I applied in 16 years over and over with patients. So I saw
Yes,
benefit, the benefit. So I say,
I
when you
love
have
it.
value, it's easy to make decisions because you go against that value, you say, no, go the other way.
I agree. I agree.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that the popularity leader always has the mindset of a popularity contest, that they are always competing to have the attention of wherever it is that they are, the attention. All and that's the red
Yes,
flag that you look for. Anybody that's
yes,
listening to us, if you see someone, if you see someone in leadership and they are constantly and consistently seeking to be the center of attention, they got to be the loudest in the room. They have to take credit for all the good
yes,
things that go in
yes, yes,
the business. Those are the ones that are seeking, that are the popularity leaders. They're seeking to be able to be popular over being a character driven leader.
yes,
To me.
But do you guys think that this is also evolution, Because, I mean, I think that the more aware that you become about not just life, leadership, your values, everything else, it changed your mind, right? We don't live the same way that we used to live maybe 15, 20 years ago. I'm sure that we have evolved, right? We have been
hmm
maybe emphasized more. This is how I want to lead through values, for example, in my case. So I think we are in constant evolution, and we come to the point that there is a long journey. But when we have the tools, the ones that are stable, that becomes easier to lead in any way possible, even
yes,
through moments of difficulty, to trials. You go
yes.
back and center yourself again.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. We do change, we do evolve. Uh, overall, though, I believe, although maybe our values may shift over the time of us evolving, I still think regardless, there should be, regardless of the change of time and how we move through life, as a leader who is character driven, your values still should line up with having good character, going back to
Yeah.
good morals, going back to going back to the basic of servitude, as we talked before. I think regardless of us changing, yes, I do believe we change over time, we evolve. But again, it still should go back. If we're talking character, now we're talking as a character driven leader, all the values and the changes that we may go through should still bring us back to our character. And yeah, I think we still should lead from a good place, a good heart, with emotional intelligence, with servitude, making the right decisions for overall with the goal, instead of just one pointed leader that is focusing on popularity. So yes, that's my response. Yes, we do change over time, but even in that change, as a good leader, and as we're talking about character driven, it still should get us back to that place of good servitude.
I
Yes,
think that what I
Yeah.
was
yes,
talking was
Yeah.
about emphasizing, about even
hmm
develop even stronger your beliefs, right? Because you
yes,
went through so many things, you apply
yes,
them in different areas, so now you even know more. Like, yes, this is how
yeah.
I live.
Gotcha.
Yes, more
Yes.
than in that way.
Okay. Good. 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 Okay. Yeah. I
And,
totally
and
understand that.
and even as we evolve, I think here's what I learned from one of my mentors, Dr. Will. He said, and he talked about this, and I agree wholeheartedly. He talked about how principles don't change. Principles are consistent, no matter
Yes.
in whether the highs or lows or the
Yes.
good. And it's the same way with the character and everything that we, as leaders, even though we evolve and we grow and we learn, the core principles that we have, the core character that we have,
Yes.
that remains consistent. And I think that's what leads to the respect
Yes.
that we talk
Yes.
about here. Because if people see that you're consistent in what you do and how you do things, and they know that that's where they okay. I know that he or she is going to be this way. I can't do anything but respect it. I might not always like it, but I know that
Yes.
they're going to be consistent in what they do because of the principles or the values or the core values that they bring to the table and everything like that too.
Yes. I agree.
Dr. McKinsey, I think that after this episode, you have a mission to do.
What's that?
We need you to record a CDL specials around the signs of leadership popularity, so people can avoid.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
So, Bernice, I want you to give us, like, from your background and from your journey, if you can recall an experience of leadership popularity that made their organization or business fail.
I remember specifically around the pandemic time, leading Loma Creative Services team. I think all businesses at some point were going through a transition, and we all
Mm,
didn't know about the pandemic, and our company was no different. What I realized during that time was I had to make a difficult decision to let one of our lead people go, who were amazing with our online video production, and they were our social media um, manager. And it wasn't like that at the time, let me say that, but the overall goal, we were just looking ahead, and one of our values is innovation, by the way, and
mm,
creativity.
mm,
So
mm,
what I did was I had to make a decision. we were going through a time of somewhat not gaining enough business as we needed to, but we were still steady. And so I had to, we had to make that transition decision. And what I did was I created an AI that did a lot of our videos. Not to replace the human, but somewhat it was like that. It wasn't a big decision that I really wanted to do, but at the time, it still was a decision that was made to help grow the business and not. We didn't have the budget at that time. And like I said, it was a difficult decision, but at the time, it was a decision that had to be made, but with values. And with the value that we had, like I said, is for a while has been innovation. From the start has been creativity. Loman Creative Services is the name. And so we pivoted with those AI videos. And even now we have AI assistants. It was a difficult decision, but it allowed us to get in the space of innovation. And one of those, just that decision alone has helped our business, because we've had workshops where we assisted businesses and nonprofit organizations and ministries and helping their leaders and getting in the space of AI and how they can expand their company, with technology. I believe Dr. Leroy is familiar with our workshops and webinars, because we, especially around that time, we're leading the way with technology and helping with those workshops. We would partner with community colleges and universities in the area and offer these workshops to help those leaders. So I would say that would have been one of the things, or one of the ways that I have seen the decision has been made, that it was not liked. It wasn't at that time popular, because at that time still, there were companies like us, even in the area, where although they were impacted, they still had a somewhat thriving team. And so here we are, like, trying to scale at that time. But yeah, I think of that time specifically. And I think it's one that we all can relate to as far as the pandemic, because we all have witnessed some type of impact during that time. So that would have, that comes to mind for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what are, like, this is like, we're trying to ask the questions that can benefit those who are listening to the episode and wants to understand, like, what problems does leadership popularity bring on to our world? What are the problems? What are the consequences? Whether they are in an organization or a small business, whatever
So
they are.
for that incident, let's just say if I were to go the route of popularity, was to, okay, if I was to say, I like this team, I really like this team person, and I'm going to keep them on because I liked it, it would have made a negative impact in our business. That was in the core of the pandemic. And I had to make that shift where business was not coming as much, especially the in-person business, because we all were at a distance. The world was at a distance with the pandemic. And so, that decision, let's say if I did make that popularity decision, it would have cost our business. We probably really, the budget was not there. I knew what the budget was, and the budget was not there. So I'm sharing for those who are listening into the replay, your decision on popularity can cost your business.
Yeah.
It can put you in a hole. It can not only financially, but it can make a negative impact even as when people, as a brand. You know, when I think of as even as a brand, if you're known for just making decisions based on popularity, it can make a negative impact on leaders who may want to do business with you, potential partners who are true leaders who may want to do business. It can also make a negative impact on, on making that disconnection between you and a real good leader who wants to partner with you as well. So yes, that's definitely what I would say.
Awesome. So, what would you tell today's leaders, or what steps would you give today's leaders in order for them to avoid falling into the trap of leadership popularity?
Stick to your goals, lead from the heart, stick to the goals, the vision, values, as we talked about today. Make sure you always lead from a servant's heart. Um, Lead with emotional intelligence, as we talked about today. Know that humanity should be first. It's not about you as a leader. It's about everyone, especially if you lead in a team. It should not just be about you. It should be about, and like I said earlier, there should not be an I in team. It should be all working together to a set goal. So yes, that is exactly what I would say. And I really believe this from my 20 some years, not to tell my age in leadership, but I would definitely say that is that's it. Leading from the heart. Definitely.
Well, thank you
I was
so
going to say
much for
something.
your input.
I
Yeah,
will
go
say
ahead.
that I will follow you because I like you and I respect you, but also
Thank
because your
you.
authenticity, because you know the energy don't lie, right? But also the
Yes.
purpose behind. That's
Yes.
what, sometimes we can say many things, but you just feel it. You see
Yes.
when somebody is authentic leader and when has a humble mission, also and purpose.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you so
Thank
much
you. Thank you. And I look
for
forward
sharing your
to,
wisdom too.
oh, thank you. Thank you all for the opportunity. And I look forward to more of the episodes by CDL. And I look forward to sharing it out as well. So thank you.
Did you realize something?
What?
We I mean when we started the episode, I told you that it doesn't matter if I can see you or not, I can feel your smile,
You did.
but we are
You did.
also we're also wearing the same color.
We are?
Yep.
Yeah, he has a little blue shirt. He has a blue shirt too.
Wow. I can't see what you have on because of the words. I see the text, the comments.
Okay,
So I
just
only
check me
see.
out. Check
Oh,
me out.
I got you. I see you. I love it. I like it a lot.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So, as I always say in every episode, we cannot get enough of the topics that we're talking about, and especially in today's topic is one of the important topic that we need to elaborate more on or tackle it from different angles because
Yeah.
it's endless. It's endless. So I believe that there will be another part for this episode,
Yeah.
maybe on the same topic, because I really respect
Yeah.
the your input on this topic, and probably there will be a part two to speak more
Yes.
about it. But before we get off the table, and again, part of our ritual in the character-driven leadership, every guest that we have on the table, before they leave, they have to head to the leadership wall that we have virtually. So, and we ask the guest to leave a note for other people to see when they come into our coffee shop. virtually. So
Got
if
it.
I ask you to leave a leadership note on the leadership wall of the CDL Cafe from 30 seconds to 60 seconds, you have the time. What would your note be? And this note is going to be recorded and it's going to be posted on our social media platforms, shared with the audience. And of course, it's, I mean, so many people are going to see this in the future. So what's your note?
Drink ginger ale. No, I'm joking. No, no.
I'm gonna add this to the CDL Cafe menu. Don't worry.
To sum up what we all have been sharing today, lead as a character-driven leader.
Mm.
Lead selflessness, like without thinking just of yourself, but lead as a group, lead as a team, lead as a group effort. Uh, we already have enough of popularity leaders. Be different. I'll leave it at that.
I
Awesome.
love that.
That's
I
great.
love that. And real quick, and I would be remiss if I didn't allow her to do this before we go. Um, Bernice has an event coming up on the 20th of this month. So can you really quickly give them a little snippet of the CBO summit that's
Oh,
coming up on September 20th, real
thank
quick?
you. I appreciate that. So, one of the values of my personal goals, as well as the company, is faith. We have a faith value. Excuse me. One of the values that we have is faith, and I enjoy connecting those people of faith who also need help with support, encouragement, business. Business education. And what the summit is Christian business owners. We gather together. We have 3 points: we pray, network, and we educate. I do believe in community, and I do believe no one should feel left out or feel like they don't have a sense of belonging. And so from 2015, I created a fellowship for Christian businesses to gather and have that sense of belonging, to support one another. We pray together and we educate. And annually, we do have a summit. We've traveled globally around the world in the summit. Dr. Leroy traveled with us twice, 3 times actually, twice globally. He was in London with us, and he was in Kenya, Africa with us. You traveled from within the U.S. from Baltimore to Savannah when we had it in Savannah. Packed room. We've had up to 300-400 business owners together from around the world. We have a group of 4,000 leaders from around the world that I've been blessed to lead from the heart since 2015, and it's been growing ever since. We will be in Ghana or Nigeria next year, and so yeah, we're streaming out this year to Nigeria. We partnered with a Nigeria business owner there. And so, yeah, we're streaming out to the metaverse as well. So it's been a great global journey and supporting. And again, just leading from the heart as a servant for those who need that support. And September the 20th, we'll be gathering to pray, network, and educate. Dr. Leroy will be one of the speakers. We have several speakers, and he's one of them that will be teaching and educating. And yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so
And
much
where
for
can they
sharing
go?
that.
CBOevent.com.
Real
Wonderful.
easy. Absolutely.
Awesome, 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 awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing this information and this sneak peek, as we say, shows that we have people on the CDL Cafe Table Talk Wednesdays who walk the talk. So
Yes, thank you.
thank you so much, Bernice. It was great to have you on, and
Thank
we
you.
look forward to have another episode with you. And any final word, guys?
Yes, I
Just
just want to
wanted
say
to.
I look forward to it, but make sure you add ginger ale to the menu.
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
No problem. I will. I will.
All right.
Atala.
This is
Just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for opening your heart, for sharing your vision, your mission,
Thank
your
you.
actually your heart. I will say
Thank
that
you.
because we can feel it, and I think
Thank you.
that make a difference.
Yes.
Not
Thank you.
just I always say, but not just in business, but also in life.
Yes.
So thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, and I'm sure it's going to be an amazing event for sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I'll just add that, hope everybody today, hope you get from this that character trumps popularity every single time.
Yes.
And we have to lead. Popularity fades. It comes and goes. It's just like trends. They come and they go. Your popularity, it can be up 1 minute, down the next minute. People like you this second, and the
Yes.
next day they can't stand you. So never get caught up in the popularity, but
Yes.
always, as we say here, lead with character.
Yes.
You heard it. This was the CDL Cafe. Our mission is to help leaders like you become a VIP leader, a leader who walk with values, integrity, principles, leading with character. Until next Wednesday, listen to this episode, share with us your takeaways, and join us in the Facebook group, LinkedIn page, watch or subscribe to the YouTube channel, and pick your taste. Learn and just become the leader that you are destined to be. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Bernice. Thank you, Dr. McKinsey. Thank you, Atala.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, that's it for this week's Table Talk Wednesdays. If this conversation sparks something for you, don't just scroll past it. We want you to share this with someone who leads or want to lead with character at the center. Also, we want you to drop your thoughts in the comments. Trust me, we read everyone. And if you believe that your voice could add something to this movement, don't hesitate to reach out. We will be back next Wednesday with another conversation that matters. Until then, lead with truth, lead with courage, and most of all, lead with character. Peace upon you.